Definitions. Nowadays, people like to live in regard to their values, assumptions, and biases. However, several people continue making the same mistake again and again when they fail to comprehend true definitions of these terms in professional practice in human and social services. Therefore, it is not enough to comprehend the importance of assumptions, biases, and values but also to learn their meanings and comprehend their differences. Assumptions are usually the things that are accepted as truths that should not have evidence but can be taken for granted. As a rule, assumptions shape human behavior that is rooted in infancy. Values introduce the guidelines for people to follow. Values are usually the things that play an important role in human life because they predetermine human behavior. Such things as equality, honesty, loyalty, and devotion are usually defined as values. Finally, there are biases, the types of prejudice that could be used for or against a person or an event. The main difference between these three terms is the way they are accepted by society. Assumptions are defined as personal ideas that cannot be neglected if people want to stay honest with themselves. Values are social norms that support people and show the correct and appropriate way, and biases are the characteristics that differentiate people and influence the ways of how people accept each other's behavior. Assumptions could be manifested as biases. Importance of awareness. People need to be aware of their assumptions, values, and biases because they help to understand the essence of this life and the things that should matter. If there are no properly identified values, a person could hardly comprehend what steps should be taken or even why this life is worth living. Values are what people believe in. If there are no beliefs, then there is no sense of life. People have to believe in something even if these are some simple and insignificant things as the color of a shirt that should be worn or the behavior that should be demonstrated during a social event. As soon as a person gains an understanding of personal assumptions and values, it is easy to organize this life and set the priorities. Biases should also be identified because they help to create the boundaries in regard to which some truth could be accepted and some facts have to be ignored. Personal assumptions, values, biases. My assumption is closely connected to the importance of education and the necessity to follow the rules. I believe that any profession is a real challenge for people, the completion of which should begin with education. As soon as a person decides to be educated, the first step is taken. Education helps to understand and develop personal values and biases with time. Besides, there are rules in human and social services that cannot be neglected. If a person breaks one rule, a system could work in the wrong way. The results of human actions can be hardly predicted, and success cannot be promoted. In regard to such assumptions, I also share such values as respect, good manners, and mutual support. I believe that people deserve the right to a second chance and additional help. People could make mistakes that can be forgiven and understood. Still, the number of mistakes, as well as the nature of such mistakes, should have a limit. Therefore, biases are also important. I cannot avoid several biases in my life because it is easy for me to avoid such situations in order not to worsen my personal and professional lives. For example, I try to avoid the world of politics and the ideas imposed during political advertisements and vote periods. I do not believe in the worth of the promises given. Therefore, politicians seem to be the most insincere people on earth. It is not necessary to have powers to be ready to help people. Many politicians believe that they should get special positions and possess several rights just to make an attempt and help someone. However, I know several people who work at social services or ordinary stores and who are always ready to provide some financial help or emotional support. How to utilize assumption, values, and biases for social change. I cannot avoid social changes in my life. Therefore, I need to learn how to utilize my assumptions, values, and biases to create my harmony. My values and assumptions have much in common. Besides, they could be easily combined with my biases. Successful utilization of all my beliefs is possible even if I am going to change something, because if I truly believe in something, I could prove my opinions and help other people accept or, at least, understand my choices. Sometimes, it is not necessary to find appropriate theories and definitions to prove the correctness and appropriateness of assumptions. It is enough to demonstrate appropriate behavior, develop interesting ideas, and be sincere with people around. Everything you need for studies, essay samples, writing tools, and tips, you can find at studycorgi.com.